ولا يقتل للفضل مسعاته يخطئ بالقربى والمساكين والمهاجرين في سبيل الله وليعفوا ويصفحوا ألا تحبون أن يغفر الله لكم والله غفور رحيم. بارك الله لكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعني وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم. أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المؤمنين استغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. واشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب يسر لنا ويسر لنا وبك نستعين يا فتاح يا فتاح يا فتاح. صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Jazakumullah for giving me the opportunity to be here with all of you. Alhamdulillah, one of the best years of my life I've spent here in this masjid with many people who are sitting here right now. And never in my wildest imagination I ever comprehended or ever dreamt of sitting here in the presence of the likes like Maulana and Maulana Hamza and giving some sort of Naseeha or some sort of wa'az. So I don't categorize it, and I don't think it's appropriate for me to call it a wa'az or a Naseeha. It's just a small reminder. Maybe it's a casual conversation that I just want to have with you. And first and foremost, it's a reminder for myself, and then inshallah for the rest of you. And I hope that you all benefit from it. So the ayah that I just recited in our Maghrib Salah, I just want to talk about a little bit about that ayah. But before I talk about this ayah, I just want to give you a little bit of background. So upon one occasion, it's narrated authentically in our books of hadith, that upon one occasion, Prophet ﷺ was sitting with his companions and he said that through that door, a person will enter and he's destined for Jannah. And Sa'ad radiallahu ta'ala entered through that door. The next day, he was sitting with his companion and he said the same thing. He said, through that door, a person will enter who is destined for Jannah. And Sa'ad radiallahu ta'ala entered again. And then on third day, same statement he repeated. He said, through that door, a person will enter who is destined for Jannah. And Sa'ad radiallahu ta'ala entered through the door. So one of the companions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam who was sitting in that gap was Abdullah bin Amr ibn al-As radiallahu ta'ala. So he became curious. He wanted to know what is this person has, because of which Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam once said it 3 times that this person is destined for Jannah. So he wanted to know the reason. So he made an excuse. And he started living with Sa'ad radiallahu ta'ala. So he spent the night with Sa'ad radiallahu ta'ala. He didn't notice anything special. His worshipping of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his prayer, his ibadah, it seemed like the Sahaba, he was reading his tahajjud, he was fulfilling his fara'id, he was fulfilling his obligations, so nothing special. So he made another excuse, and he spent another night with Sa'ad radiallahu ta'ala. Again, he didn't notice anything special. His routine was same like other Sahabas. So he made another excuse. And he spent another night with Sa'ad radiallahu ta'ala in his house just to observe what is that special action that he is doing on a consistent basis, because of which Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has guaranteed him Jannah. So upon third night, he didn't notice anything special. So on the 4th day, when he was leaving the house of Sa'ad radiallahu ta'ala, he told Sa'ad radiallahu ta'ala that, look, I've heard Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam telling us that you are destined for Jannah, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And I want you to just make an excuse to be in your cabin, to be in your company, just to know what is that special reason, what is that special thing that you are doing, because of which Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam guaranteed you Jannah. So Sa'ad radiallahu ta'ala, in an utmost modesty, he said to Abdullah bin Amr ibn al-As, this is what I do every day. Nothing more, nothing less, this is what I do. I don't do anything special, and I don't know why Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave me a guarantee of Jannah. But when Abdullah bin Amr ibn al-As was leaving, Sa'ad called him. And he said to him, look, there is this one thing that I do every single night, consistently, before I go to bed. And maybe because of that thing, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam guaranteed me Jannah. And Abdullah bin Amr ibn al-As said, what is that thing that you do every single night? And he said that every single night before I go to bed, I say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, Ya Allah, all of my brothers and sisters who have transgressed against me, Ya Allah, I forgive them for your sake. Whatever they have done against me, whatever they have said against me, Ya Allah, I forgive all of them just for your sake. This is something that I do every single night before I go to bed. Muhaddithun have commented on that hadith and they said that look, this Sa'd radiallahu ta'ala, he participated in Uzbay Badr. He participated in the Battle of Badr. He participated in the Battle of Uhud. He participated in all the campaigns with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But look at what of his quality, what of his action because of which Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam guaranteed in Jannah. Something that you and I consider very trivial. Something that you and I consider nothing. Something that is so special and so valuable in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself in this dunya guaranteed Sa'd radiallahu ta'ala Jannah not once, not twice, but 3 times. And this is forgiving other people for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, I've come from Pakistan, so I don't know about other countries, but I know about culture, especially of the people who come from Asian vernacular. And in our cultures, in our communities, in our societies, in our families, forgiving other person, humbling yourself, putting yourself down, and forgiving other person is considered something that, you know, in Punjabi we call it bisti. It's a loss of dignity. It's a loss of honor. It's a loss of praise. If you humble yourself, if you lower yourself and forgive someone, it means that you have lost your dignity. It means that you have lost your honor. Whereas Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us in his explicit narration, مَا زَادَ الْعَبْدَ بِعَفْوٍ إِلَّا عِزَّةٍ, that nobody forgives someone for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will increase his honor not only in this dunya but also in the hereafter. So this is something, my dear brothers, you know, we need to think about all the time. Alhamdulillah, we come to the masjid, we pray our salah 5 times a day. Most of you people who are sitting here right now, your ilm, your taqwa, your religiosity, your righteousness, mashallah, you have spent years and years and years on that. But there are a few values that are very important in Islam, so important that because of which Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam guaranteed as Sahaba Jannah, we need to think about these values and need to bring these values into our daily life as well. So the ayah that I recited in our Maghrib Salah, the story behind it is Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, our mother, probably you guys already know about this, it's a very famous story. One time, she was slanderously accused by the munafiqun, by the hypocrites. She was slanderously accused. And I cannot be more explicit than that. I hope that all of you people who are sitting here, you know what slanderous accusation means. And their propaganda was so strong that some of the righteous Sahaba, some of the most pious Sahaba, they got carried away by that propaganda. And they also started thinking that Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, had an affair with someone. And one of those people who was carried away because of that propaganda, who got carried away and who started believing in this propaganda, was Mistah radiallahu ta'ala. Mistah radiallahu ta'ala was the family member of Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala. And Abu Bakr is the father of Aisha radiallahu ta'ala, right? Not only he was a part of Abu Bakr's family, Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala used to spend on him, he used to support him financially, he used to give him everyone some sort of stipend, some sort of pocket money. So when Abu Bakr heard about Mistah radiallahu ta'ala believing in that accusation, he stopped spending on him financially. He didn't do anything. He didn't say that I'm never going to talk to you ever again, I'm never going to, no, nothing. He just stopped spending on him. And if we were in Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala's place, if somebody had accused our daughter, maybe we would have done something much more worse. Abu Bakr didn't do anything. He was quite justified in not spending his money on a person who is slanderously accusing not only his daughter, but the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Accusing the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is actually accusing Islam itself. So that was a big crime. It's a big crime. And he stopped spending on Mistah. As soon as he stopped spending on Mistah, this ayah came down that we just recited in our Maghrib Salah, Surah An-Nur. This ayah came down. وَلَا يَأْتَلِ أُولُو الْفَضْلِ مِنْكُمْ وَالسَّعَةِ أَنْ يُؤْتُوا أُولِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْمَسَاكِينَ وَالْمُهَاجِرِينَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. Those people whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given, meaning has given wealth, has given their blessing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given some sort of financial relaxations. It's not appropriate for them to stop spending on other people. This ayah came down. And towards the end of this ayah, Allah says, وَلْيَعْفُوا وَلْيَصْفَحُوا. You should forgive other people. And you should overlook their mistakes. And then the crux of today's reminder. This is the crux. Now I need your attention. If we don't learn anything from today's reminder, me and you, if we learn just this part, inshallah, not our life, but other people who live around us, in our families, in our communities, their life will become easier as well. After that lesson, أَلَا تُحِبُّونَ أَنْ يَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ. Don't you want Allah to forgive you? Don't you want Allah to forgive you? And Mufassirun have commented on that. They said, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, Ibn Kathir rahmatullahi and Ibn al-Jawzi rahmatullahi, they said that in this ayah, in this part of the ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that if you want Allah to forgive you, then you need to start forgiving other people. This is the principle that Allah has given us. If you want Allah to forgive you, then you need to start forgiving other people. And Allah will forgive you the way you forgive other people. So if you forgive other people wholeheartedly, Allah will forgive all of your sins. But if you don't forgive other people wholeheartedly and you're like, yeah, I'm forgiving, but I'm forgiving because I'm obliged to forgive them. I have this social pressure because of which I need to forgive them. Allah is never going to forgive you. If you think about it, how many times do you and I transgress against the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Not just once or twice or thrice, hundreds of times, you and I transgress against the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we still expect Allah to forgive us. And there are people who sometimes, very rarely, occasionally do something to offend us, say something to offend us, and still we are not ready to forgive them. We think it's a loss of our izzah, it's a loss of our dignity if we forgive them. Allah says, if you want me to forgive you, you need to start forgiving other people. These ayat came down, and Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala stood up, he looked into the heavens and he said, Ya Allah, I want you to forgive me. And he forgave Mistah radiallahu ta'ala, and he broke his oath, because he took an oath that I never going to spend on Mistah anymore. So he broke his oath, and he took a new oath, and he said, I will never ever stop spending on Mistah radiallahu ta'ala, just because this ayah came down. Allah tuhibbuna an yaghfir. Don't you want Allah to forgive you? So our predecessors, our Sahaba, they understood the verses of the Quran and they acted upon them. This encouraged them. Today, alhamdulillah, you have these Maulanas here, you have Imams here, Maulana Abdul, Maulana Hamza, and I've been following their videos ever since lockdown came. Maulana Hamza and Maulana Abdul, they've been producing videos on Facebook Live, and I've been following them. There are so many topics, variety of topics that they are covering on consistent basis, on daily basis, on weekly basis, on different halaqat. So we have this so much content that we are producing. But at the end of the day, how much are we practicing it? How much are we bringing it into our life? So this one thing that I want to leave you with today is Allah tuhibbuna an yaghfira Allahu lakum, that if you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if I want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive me, when we need to start forgiving other people. A lot of times when we hear these kinds of reminders, inshallah we'll conclude on them. A lot of times when we hear these kinds of reminders, we say, yeah, it's a good reminder. It was a good reminder. I really understood that reminder. I really understand what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you. But, Imam Sahib, you don't know my case. My situation is an exceptional situation. The person who has offended me, you don't know how messed up he is. He doesn't deserve my forgiveness. He doesn't deserve. I understand that I need to forgive other people in order for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive me. But you don't understand how messed up he is and what he has done to me. I can never forgive him. This person doesn't deserve my forgiveness. By the way, you're not forgiving other people because they deserve your forgiveness. You're forgiving other people, why? Because you want Allah's forgiveness. And I will leave you with this hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A lot of time we say, this person doesn't deserve our forgiveness. You know what Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said? He said, I promise that person a palace in the suburbs of Jannah. In the suburbs of Jannah, I promise that person a palace لِمَنْ تَرَكَ الْمِرَاءَ وَإِنْ كَانَ مُحِقًّا, who walk away from an argument even though he thinks that he is justified in doing an argument. Even though he thinks that he is right, still he walks away from an argument. Only because of that reason, Prophet ﷺ guarantees him a palace in the suburbs of Jannah. There were two brothers, two cousins. One was the son of Hussein radiallahu ta'ala, and the other was the son of Hassan radiallahu ta'ala. They got into an argument. And the argument became ugly because it got public. It didn't remain personal, it became public. And obviously they are the great grandsons of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So people started talking about them. Look at them. They are arguing with each other, they're not talking with each other, they're getting in fights with each other, things like that. So this one cousin, one night he couldn't sleep, and he came to his other cousin's door, and he knocked on the door. And this other cousin came out, and he said, look, I can't sleep the entire night. I was thinking about our argument and I cannot sleep. And Prophet ﷺ told us, the guy who wins an argument, who is that guy? We think the guy who wins an argument, the person who wins an argument is someone who remains offended for the longest period of time. Who remains upset for the longest period of time. But Prophet ﷺ said the one who wins an argument is someone who says the salam first. Liman bada salam. The one who says the salam first wins an argument. So this cousin came to his cousin's house. He wanted to reconcile. He said, look, I'm here at your door. I want to just forget about the argument that took place between us, and I want to reconcile, but still I don't want to say salam to you first. Because I know innaka khayrun minni. I know you are better than me. I know you are better than me. I want to reconcile. I want to sort out whatever happened between us. I want to reconcile, but I don't want to say salam first because I want you to win that argument. So you say salam to me. But I'm at yours standing at your door, showing you my willingness that I want to reconcile. But say salam to me first because the Prophet told us the one who says salam wins an argument. So I want you to win that argument. SubhanAllah. These are the kind of values that we need to inculcate in our lives. We need to teach our kids about these values. A lot of times I have this complaint, and please forgive me if I offend anyone here, but we still feel, a lot of us in our community, we still feel and we still believe that we raise our children on autopilot. We feel that we are raised as Muslims, our children, they are going to be Muslims automatically. We don't need to put any special effort into it. We don't need to bring any values into it. We don't need to do anything extra, anything special into it. And we just need to go and drop them off. Sometimes, sometimes we need to just drag them halfway through Jummah Salam. Sometimes we just take them to the masjid, drop them off at the Maktab class, at the masjid class, and then they can do whatever they want to do. But we don't need to put any extra effort into them. And inshallah, one day automatically they will become righteous. As soon as they become teenagers, then reality hits them. And then they come to Imam Sahib, running to Imam Sahib. Imam Sahib, can you please talk to my daughter? Can you please talk to my son? I don't know what happened to them. Ever since they got their license, they have started acting crazy. Ever since they got their phone, they don't talk to me much. I don't know what's going on in their life, what their friends. I'm worried about them. This stuff starts happening. But from the very beginning, we need to introduce our children to these values of Islam. We need to inculcate these values of Islam. We need to raise our children so that they know how amazing it is to be Muslims. And if we are not learning those values and practicing those values and bringing those values into our lives, how in the world are we going to teach our kids about Islam? So inshallah, these small things, if we can learn about them, understand them, bring them into our life, start practicing upon them, inshallah, you will see changes coming into our community. Inshallah, you will see changes coming into our families, inshallah. And together we will become a stronger woman, inshallah. Are we ready for this, inshallah? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us understanding. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us united in this dunya. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unite us there after.